Hello, guys. So, I am definitely feeling a transmission, so much so that I cannot even focus on meditating. I had to hold on, let me get my music going because I need to get my little flow in the background so I can really tap in. I've been finding these new Islamic songs, I don't know, meditations, but they are hitting me lately and I'm just really enjoying it. Yeah, I love to just have that playing in the background. It helps me just zone in. Okay, so today was a powerful day and I won't even get into what I did on my own. I will just get into this transmission of like what has been coming to me my entire drive home from my shoot and just the overall day. And the word forgiveness is just blasted. And why I want to talk about forgiveness is because I think this is what we need in the world. I think forgiveness is the ultimate tool to allow people to let the light come back into their lives, to release things that they don't want to carry with them. And why this is so prevalent right now is I do feel as a collective, we're just like in this field of, you know, our everyday life and all the stuff we have to do, but we don't realize how much we can carry with us of judgments, of resentments, anger, these other lower forms that like they're good. It's gonna happen. We're human. We chose, hold on, I'm gonna get my focus to make sure it stays on me. But we chose to come here to experience these feelings. And that's wild to think about, right? Like we chose to come here to feel pain. We chose to come here to feel betrayal. And you look at that and you're just like, well, why would we choose that? But it's a duality. You feel one thing, you feel the hate, the anger, the betrayals, all of that. But on the extreme other side, you feel joy, you feel pleasure, you feel the greatest feeling of just feeling so abundant and like life is good. And so there's two extremes. And of course, we always want to find balance. We don't want to dismiss the anger. We don't want to dismiss those feelings of resentment or whatever it is. We want to be able to process that. We want to be able to go in deep and realize that we don't have to carry these things onwards. We don't have to carry these judgments even into our children, into our nieces or nephews or parents, grandparents, whoever it is, friends, colleagues. We can learn to release and let go. Because when we do remove those blockages, which I feel like all of that just creates different blockages in our bodies to where we're not getting the pure divine love that is out there for us. If we're carrying this hurt and this pain, we're blocking the blessings. And that's just what it is. We're blocking the beauty of life. We are. And I'm not here to just be like, we need to stay in high vibe and all that kind of stuff. Of course, I love to keep a good vibration. I love to be in peace. I love to be in harmony, right? But do I dismiss when those feelings come up, when I do feel the hurt, when I do feel the shame, when I do feel the guilt? Even in my journey right now, coming back to Islam, I am feeling so many things coming up of like when I want to go pray and I'm coming home to just get back to prayer, and like I've never been that type of person. And I start to feel these feelings come up of like, you didn't do anything for so long. It's been so many years since you've prayed, and why do you think your prayers matter now? Like these little thoughts that want to creep up, and I have to be strong and just be like, I'm here now. And it's not to dismiss the feelings. I do not want this video come off in that way of just like we don't need to acknowledge the hurt, the pain, because that's all so valid, because people do this to each other. I know I have wronged a lot of people. I know people have wronged me. But I know that I've always been the type of person to never hold on to things. Even when the worst person can do the worst things, I've always just had this mindset of, how do I bring this into from that to here? I've always had this mindset that if God can forgive us, if we can go to God and if we can ask for forgiveness, and if God can accept to forgive us, then why can't we forgive each other as humans? Why do we hold ourselves so high that we can't forgive one another for wrongdoings, for being human, for messing up? And I know this for a fact, like, we all mess up. We are not angels on this planet, just, living so freely and beautifully and everything's in harmony. We go through the trials, we go through all these tribulations and these extreme things with our family members, with our friends, with our colleagues, the people we work with, the clients we get, all of it. But how much are we internalizing and how much are we taking in versus releasing and letting go and understanding that we are all human, we all make mistakes, and it's okay. So forgiveness is a big topic for me right now in my group that I'm hosting. I'm leading a women's group of chakra healing, and this week we are focusing on the heart chakra as well as the solar plexus. And so when I just felt into today, I was like, man, we got to get to the heart of the matter. And forgiveness is the heart's medicine. That is literally what it is. Forgiveness is the heart's medicine. Because when we can learn to forgive, when we can learn to see each other in God's light. I was just getting my nails done today, and I had a beautiful conversation with the woman who was doing my nails, and I listened to her, and I held space for her. She held space for me. It was a beautiful connection, and normally I don't really like to talk when I'm getting my nails done, but she really wanted to open up, so I was like, you know what, I want to give her this time. And it's such a great conversation, even though there was a bit of a language barrier and that kind of stuff, but we still understood each other. And I looked at her at one point and I was just like, man, she's giving such pure loving energy, and that's also God's energy. So seeing God through everyone you associate with, because God's love is coming through each person in its own way. And sure, some people are a ways away from it and they're in the whole realm of backbiting and, toxic behavior and all of that. But we can't control that. We can't, because people have to come to their own understanding. People have to understand that we have a choice to go down that path. We have a choice to engage in that kind of behavior, or we have a choice to take a higher road and ascend. We don't have to stay in the lower frequencies. And I have had to talk to family members about this and explain that, like, look, I'm not a person you want to sit here and talk crap about other people with. That's just not in my nature. I don't like doing that. I have been there, and I have found that feels very like, at the time I kind of get worked up and all these things come up, but like, I don't like the way my body feels when people do that. And of course, it's all bringing it back to that same overall thing of just forgiveness. I forgive people for wanting to do that with me because they don't know any better. I forgive myself for being in those situations where I did give in and where I did start talking crap about people, because that's just what you do, especially when you have friends that are about that life and stuff. And I'm just in a different place now mentally, and I don't want to carry any of that anymore. There's a beautiful quote by Rumi that I love, and it came to mind, and I wanted to read. The wound is the place where the light enters you. So I'm going to read a little bit more detail about this. But the quote implies that by facing our wounds and allowing ourselves to feel, we can find a deeper, more authentic light within. And some other philosophies from him: what hurts you blesses you. Darkness is your candle. If everything around you seems dark, look again, you may be the light. Dang, that's dope. Don't you know yet? It is your light that lights the world. Because that's what it is, guys. We have the light within us. We all do. It just takes going into the depths of the darkness and acknowledging all the things and going through the traumas and processing everything and releasing and forgiving. Coming back to forgiveness. Forgiveness is your heart's medicine. We don't need pills. We don't need drugs. We don't need alcohol. We don't need any of these things that we tend to go to help numb or help cope. We need forgiveness. We need forgiveness in the world. We need forgiveness for the people in our lives, our family, our parents. Just overall forgiveness, because that is really where the light can just come and beam through and allow you to open your heart, allow you to expand your heart. And just because you're forgiving someone, it doesn't mean they have to be in your lives. It doesn't mean you have to be best friends. It doesn't mean any of that. It just means you're releasing the burden. You're releasing the stuff that you're carrying inside. And you're evolving and you're ascending. And you can just leave it at that. You can forgive someone and let it go, and that's it. You can also mend the relationship. That does help a lot of times too. If you had a relationship that was strained and you want to be in a better place and you want to feel good with that person again, you can start again. I have experienced that with my own aunt, where for so many years I just felt like, she's judgmental, she's religious, I'm not religious, so she's judging me. I had all these thoughts in my head that I created, and due to various reasons. And I had created this whole version of her, and I didn't know her. I didn't know her for many years until I decided to start working on all this ancestral stuff and start getting deep and start talking with her and communicating and just understanding her story, understanding who she is at the root of it. And she's a very misunderstood woman. And like I said, we're not all angels. We all have this dark side. I have that too. I could sit here and tell you all the things that I've done that have not been right. But I'm trying to be better. And I'm trying to move forward in a more positive light. And I'm trying to encourage others to do the same. Because if we can't be better, if we can't try to work on ourselves and be a better version of ourselves, then what are we doing? We're just staying stagnant. We're staying in these low energies, and there's no point for that. And in this point, it's like midway through Ramadan, and we're fasting and we're doing all this work. We're praying. We are coming to God so much. Yet at the same time, I'm seeing it that the same people that are doing these things, the same people that are, practicing, are they really practicing everything when they don't practice forgiveness? When we can't forgive our brothers and sisters for wronging us? Why are we so much more than God? Just something to think about, really. And nothing to judge anyone either. Like, if you want to be on that path that, like, you know what, I can't forgive so and so because they just, said something and I can't get over that, there's no judgment. But do you want to feel lighter? Do you want to feel ease? Do you want to not hold on to things where, you know, where these things tend to weigh us down? They really do. They don't keep us in our light body. They don't keep us connected to God, to our families. They keep us disconnected. They keep us in this whole realm of being in our own worlds where we don't care about anyone but ourselves. And we're here to do big things. We're here to make big moves and be of purpose and be of our path to help others, to help ourselves, to help our families. But we got to come back to just the root of it, of forgiveness. So I would invite you to look at areas in your life where you maybe have not been forgiving. Maybe that's looking inward at yourself. Where have you not forgiven yourself? Where have you not forgiven others? And maybe start doing some exploring of how can I help this? How can I bring more light into this? Another practice that I do when I want to mend a situation that's been bothering me, whether that's with, someone working for me that's wronged me, and I've felt all these feelings come up because I have, as a business owner, I've worked with many people who have crossed me and who have really made me question myself and question my business and question where I was headed and all these things. And this practice, I really do love doing this when I'm faced in these situations, is writing a letter to that person and writing it as angrily as you want. Literally, if you need to curse, you can curse. Like, write it out, write it all the way out to get those feelings out, to get the emotions out, and then burning it up, of course, in a fireproof dish, and not like, not in an unsafe way. So definitely make sure you are in a safe space and have adults and, precautions and that kind of stuff. And if you don't want to burn it, just ripping it up. That feels really good too, to just rip up the shreds and like get it into pieces and let it go. Because what happens is when we channel that energy into our writing, it's coming out of us. We're getting those feelings out. Same way we would with venting to someone. Like if I have a problem and I'm going to my friend and I'm like, hey, I need you to hear me out, I'm releasing that. But I'm not asking that person to come in and feed it more fire, because that's what tends to happen when we do have friends, and when we tell them our problems, when we go through all of that, we tend to feed each other that energy, that negative energy, and it's literally like two flames like that, and then boom, we're now igniting a major flame together, and that's not good either. So it's just coming to a place of like learning healthy ways to let go of these angers, these resentments, because we don't need to carry it. That's just the biggest thing. We don't have to hold on. We also don't have to be best friends with everyone. We can have healthy boundaries. We can set up protection methods, whether that is through some, energetic shield you're doing. That is one practice I like to do with energetic shields. Whether that is through prayer. My aunt was just telling me this morning of like, say this and this and this, and you're protected. You're not calling in people to wish evil on you. Like, you're not opening it up for people to harm you in that way, because there very much is evil eye out there. I believe that. But I do believe at the root of it, we have the power to be like, nope, that's not for me. I don't submit to that. I have this one friend, and he he makes it really clear when he speaks, which I love. And he says that, like, I don't surrender to anyone except God. And I love that because it's a really key thing to take home of just like, why do we give our power away to others? Why do we, when people have wronged us, why do we sit in these negative feelings? We don't need to. We can really come from a higher place. We can understand that not everyone has had our life experience. We can have empathy. We can forgive. We can heal. We can let go. Or we can choose to keep it all. We can choose to keep it all and hold it all and just stay so rigid. And it's a choice. It's a personal choice. We all have free will. And I don't want this video to come out as like, you need to do this, you need to do that. Like, I'm not preachy or anything. I'm just saying forgiveness was the medicine in my life. Forgiveness works for me. Forgiveness has healed so much in my life. That's why I believe in it. And that's why I do talk about it, because I wish someone brought this up with me growing up. I wish people communicated healthily in front of me. But I had to go down the way that I did to learn and grow and have teachers and go through experiences with friends, with family, where friends have even, hurt me and stuff. And I've had to, hold on, I'm getting a text. I got to reply real quick because I got to go pick up my nephews. 30 minutes to Swanee. Okay, so I need to leave soon. So I need to wrap up this video. Gotta go pick up my nephews from the masjid. But I hope you took something from this video. I hope you learned something. I hope that you take this into consideration on how you can bring forgiveness into your life and how you can become lighter and let things go and come from a place of love. Love is the ultimate answer, and love is in our hearts. But we have to open up our hearts to be able to see all that light, to keep loving, to keep pouring that light and love into the world, no matter what. And that is my mission being here on this planet. Spread more love, spread more light, and help others do the same. So thank you for tuning in, and I will see you on the next one.